Halloween. That doesn't stop us from going sports with our guy Pep. What's going on, Pep?
Listen, we got to, man. And spooky things happened on Sunday if you're a Rams fan, because we got to break down that Rams versus 49ers game. It's a big divisional game. We got lots of Rams fans. We got lots of 49er fans in the Inland Empire. And hey, kudos to the 49ers getting it done against the Rams and doing it with their newest addition, Christian McCaffrey. We didn't know how it was going to work. It didn't look super impressive in his first game. But Patrick, I got to admit, and this is not just because I'm a 49ers fan, he looks like he's going to be a matchup nightmare for opposing teams. We already knew he would be, but I think it's actually coming to fruition now. He had, what was it, a passing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and a rushing touchdown. We haven't seen that since the likes, of the great LaDainian Tomlinson of the Chargers about 2000, 5? So that's 17 years ago?
He pulled the triple threat on us, dude, where he threw for a touchdown, he ran for a touchdown, and he caught a touchdown. So, yeah, he looks to be the Swiss Army knife that Kyle Shanahan has been waiting for. And unfortunately, for the rest of us in the NFL, the non 49er fans, this could be scary because this is really just the start. He's just starting to figure out how he's going to fit in this offense. Well, it looks like he fits pretty freaking well.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too. Like, there's some good teams in the NFL right now. But the 49ers, I think versatility is the word that's going to be labeled to the 49ers right now, that the other teams, even with great players, they don't have what the 49ers have. When you throw in Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel in the same lineup, and George Kittle, he's kind of like, I'd say like Travis Kelce. He lines up as tight end, but he's a matchup nightmare because he's more like a receiver, but he's got a big body. Like, the 49ers just have a lot of versatility, and for opposing defenses, that's going to be tough to stop.
Nobody wants to admit it. The rest of us in the NFC is basically the Eagles and the 49ers, and the really good teams are in the AFC. So, I mean, that's what's going to, I can see that being the NFC Championship game, San Francisco and the Eagles. That's what it looks like to me. And then there's the rest of us in the NFC.
Yeah, and that's what's weird about the NFC right now, because I'm sure there's some Dallas Cowboy fans listening to this right now saying, you guys forgot about the Cowboys, you forgot about the Giants. Shoot, Patrick, you could even say, well, what about Seattle? They're first place in that division, not the 49ers. So I still feel like the NFC is wide open, but if you asked me, hey, pick your NFC championship game today on Halloween morning, yeah, I would probably say the 49ers and the Eagles, Patrick. I'd be right with you.
And then especially if Jalen Hurts is going to throw. We haven't seen him throw like this. These were real throws.
Yeah, no, he's looked impressive. Listen, here's the thing on Jalen Hurts, the quarterback for the Eagles. We knew he was a great leader. He was a competitor. He was all those things. But now he's got the arm to match the legs, right? We're like, hey, he's got nice legs, right? But now he can throw the football too, and that makes a very dangerous combination. Besides being a great locker room guy, besides being the leader of your team, he's all those other things too. So it's no surprise that Philadelphia remains undefeated this season.
They're going to be tough.
Yeah, they are going to be tough. And one other quick note on that Rams 49ers game. Cooper Kupp injured his ankle at the end of the game. I don't know how bad it is. I don't think the Rams know how bad it is quite yet. But, yeah, that was a scary moment, Patrick.
OBJ, they're going to be giving him a call big time. But you're right. I mean, come on, let's face it. Cooper Kupp has been the one thing that has been working for the Rams. And now he's down. When he was down, I mean, you could hear it. Ooh, this is bad.
Yeah, and Sean McVay, the head coach of the Rams, even said, wow, I should have not have had him in the game at the end of the game with the game already over and decided. Like, there's no reason for him to be out there. He's probably, knowing Cooper Kupp, he's probably like, don't take me out. I'm going down with the ship. I'm fighting till that last second. But unfortunately, yeah, an ankle injury. I think he was quoted as saying he feels like he dodged a bullet, like it's not that bad, but still, until we hear it from the team, very nervous moment for Rams fans at the end of that one.
We're seeing a real Super Bowl hangover with the Rams this year. This is what the Super Bowl can do to you. It hasn't happened in a while. A lot of them make it back there, but it's really tough. I think the Bengals and them are kind of finding that out. It takes a lot out of you.
Yeah. No, you're right. It definitely does. And the Rams, they've got enough talent where they can still pull it together and, get into the playoffs. But, yeah, right now it's tough. But the good thing is the NFC, I feel like, is a little watered down. Green Bay's not Green Bay. Tampa Bay's not Tampa Bay. New Orleans is not New Orleans anymore. Like, it's watered down. There's still a chance.
Definitely.
Yeah. The Raiders. I don't know what else to say. We talk Raiders on here quite a bit. The Raiders losing to New Orleans 24-0, and the Saints blanked them. I mean, the Raiders had no points. 24-0 was the final score in that one. And that was supposed to be the Raiders' strong suit, right? Was their offense. Josh Jacobs, great running back. Devontae Adams at receiver. They brought him in, and they have just sputtered along. They do not look like they're even going to be making any noise. They're not any sort of a force in the AFC West or the AFC in general. But, yeah, they looked bad yesterday, and I don't know. I don't think how you get out of this funk.
Sometimes chemistry is really important, and for some reason, it just doesn't seem to be working for the Raiders. Alvin Kamara went absolutely bananas in that
Yes.
game, too, for the Saints. And then we're hearing the stories that the Eagles are trying to pick up Kamara. If the Eagles pick up Kamara and then he does that performance, look out.
You're right. Alvin Kamara is still, we talk about versatile guys, right? He can catch the ball. Obviously, he can run the football. He's one of those versatile guys, too. With New Orleans, beating Las Vegas 24-0, I feel like if you're a New Orleans Saints fan, you're looking at that division, you're thinking, there's not a great team in that division. Why not us? Why not New Orleans? Why not you win that division? You're going to get into the playoffs. Again, the NFC watered down this year. Maybe New Orleans keeps the band together, and they might actually have a shot to go deep into the postseason.
Yeah, who knows what they're going to do. But, I mean, I know I keep bringing up the 49ers-Eagles thing, but if you look at it, I mean, it's funny how McCaffrey got added to the 49ers, that kind of Swiss Army knife. If Kamara went to the Eagles, you could see them kind of they're gearing up they're having like an arms battle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're setting up for a big Cold War.
Yeah, collecting their weapons right now. And he would have been a huge addition. I just feel like New Orleans might feel like we've got enough in a bad division that we got to keep in everyone we can, because we could do this. We could make a run.
You're totally right. Taysom Hill and him are wrecking shop. I mean, there is that happening. Just on the ground, too. Just pound it.
Yeah, versatility. Again, New Orleans got some of that as well. And the NFL trade deadline, what is it? Is it tomorrow? I think it's November 1st is the trade deadline.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's
I
coming
know,
up.
surprising.
So there could be some teams making a big splash, teams that feel like they got a chance to go to the playoffs, and teams that feel like, hey, our season's already done. Let's start breaking the team up and trading some of our star players. So I feel like in the next 24 hours we could see some significant moves in the NFL.
We'll still keep an eye on Kamara. We'll see what happens.
Yes, absolutely. Patrick, real quick to the NBA. Congrats to the Lakers finally getting that first win of the season, beating Denver last night 121-110. Win number 1 on the season, and Russell Westbrook coming off the bench and being productive, Patrick. Maybe this is the recipe for the Lakers this season, having him bring some energy, some points, 18 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. Maybe this is the way they do it, coming from off the bench with Russ.
We have hammered Russ, and I've been very, very hard on him. But it's funny how something actually worked, and it reminded me of what my father used to say. Patrick, if you're having a problem, you need to change your attitude. And did you notice that Russell said, hey, whatever this, did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
They're like, Russell, are you going to go to the bench? He's like, you know what? Whatever the team needs. And see, he changed his attitude. Remember, he refused to go to the bench before, and he was fighting it. He's not fighting it, and suddenly, wait a minute. To me, I know they haven't turned everything around, but I think you are onto something. He changed his attitude. That's more receptive to team. So, hey, there's a lot of basketball left. This could work. He could provide that spark off the bench. John Starks-like, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, John Starks. Bring that on. I remember John
Instant
Starks.
offense, they used to call him.
Yeah. Hey, who knows? Maybe June and July we'll be saying, man, Russell Westbrook, 6th man of the year. Can you believe it? He was the missing piece to the Lakers.
Patrick, you need to change your attitude. He always used to say that. What, you're upset? Change your attitude.
Yeah, it's only one game. It's a small sample size, of course, but this might be it. Change of attitude for Russell Westbrook. He's coming off the bench, and he's being happy in that role. Who knows?
As Pep would say, a win is a win.
A win is a win is a win. And finally, speaking of that, who's going to win tonight? Game 3 of the World Series, Astros and Phillies, all tied at 1 game apiece. Big Game 3 tonight in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia.
I know we all hate the Astros, but darn it, I have to appreciate they're a very good team. And I thought it was really cool when the Phillies battled back, but if you kind of just look at it from a distance, I mean, the Astros are just producing, and they're relentless, and they really could have won that game 1. The Phillies could be down 2-0 easily. The Phillies pulled off a miracle. If the Phillies are going to have to pull off a miracle every game, it's not going to work. And I can see the Astros, they did do what they needed to do. They split.
Yeah, at some point, if you live dangerously, my thought is if you live dangerously, it will catch up to you at some point. And Philly has been living dangerously because you're right. Houston should have taken the first two games of the series. They should be up 2-0. Philly was lucky to take that game 1. So now that you go back to Philadelphia, where they're supposed to take care of their business, but Houston, they're good, man. Any way you slice it, they've got just a very good ball club. And I still feel like they're the favorite to win the World Series. I know that's the unpopular opinion, but it is what it is, Patrick.
Pip, I think you've helped us out a little bit in the IE when you keep bringing up that Dusty Baker
Yeah.
is from the IE.
Yeah.
And you know what? That helps me stomach it a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what? If anyone deserves to win a World Series, I mean, come on, with the Giants. I mean, he was a Dodger. You know what I mean? Dusty Baker's been around a long time. He deserves it. And he's one of our own. So that does help me a little bit with the Astros. Because it's tough.
Yeah. He's easy to root for. He's one of the good guys in baseball. So if you think, oh, man, I hate the Astros, well, Dusty Baker is a good guy to root for from Riverside.
And I'm not trying to stick up for the Astros, but there was kind of a stink about an illegal bat that Pena was using. And it's not because the bat was hitting home runs or anything. It is because it was a two-piece bat and was more of a safety thing. So a lot of people were going crazy on the internet. They're cheating again, illegal bat. It's just because of a safety thing. They thought it was going to splinter because it was a two-piece bat. Albert Pujols used that bat for like 12 years. They just outlawed it. They're not necessarily cheating.
It's because we're looking for things at this point, right? We're looking for it. We know they're doing something. What is it? We're going to find out. We're going to investigate.
It'll be fun to see what happens. But Pep, we'll catch up on Thursday and get all caught up. We'll know what happens by then, man. Tell them how to get your stuff.
Hey, happy Halloween, everybody. Get my stuff as you're trick-or-treating out there on Inland Sports. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We got the Inland Sports YouTube channel. So you're walking the kiddos around. Pop us up on YouTube. That's Inland Sports.
Thanks, Pep. Perfect.